Building Show. So today I want to talk about pregnancy and relationships. Yep, pregnancy and relationships. But before we get to that, please subscribe. Please turn on your post notifications. Don't forget to leave your comments. I would love to hear from you so that we could interact with each other and I can, hear what's on your mind as far as these topics are concerned. And don't forget to share the videos as well, right? So, pregnancy does not equal relationships. I'm going to say this. Not because someone is pregnant, and this specifically goes out to women, right? And men as well. But not because someone is pregnant, it means that you should be in a relationship with them. So, one, ladies, not because you're pregnant, it automatically means that you should marry the person whose kid you're having, or that you should move in with that person, or you should live with that person, right? And I'm not saying, that the person might not be somewhat an okay person, and eventually things could work out. But I don't think there should be a rush to necessarily be in a relationship with them. No, this is not saying that men shouldn't do the right thing. I believe that men should do the right thing. As a matter of fact, I grew up with a single mom, so I know what I'm talking about here. And I have a lot of friends as well who grew up with just single moms. But I don't think you necessarily marry someone or rush to shack up with someone or whatever the case is because you're having their kid, right? And for guys, you could still be a responsible father, and that's what I believe in. And I'll do a couple videos on that eventually. But you could be a responsible dad but not get married to someone. Or you could be a responsible father and not move in with someone. You could still be responsible and be a parent and be a father, whatever the case is, but you don't necessarily have to live with someone. And woman, you're the child bearer. Yes, you'd be a responsible mom, and one of those responsibilities might not be getting with that person. Because it doesn't mean because someone is, necessarily your child's father that you should necessarily be with that person per se or marry that person, right? Because sometimes what happens, and it's life, sometimes people, we're human beings, people have sex, people get pregnant, and they decide, this is, I'm going to have my child, but not because I have my child. It means that I necessarily want you to be married to you or whatever the case is, because it doesn't always work. You see, a lot of times people would think that, well, oh my goodness, this person's pregnant, so now we got to get married. Nope, that's not necessarily the case. Not because what happens is, in the long run, a lot of times you see what happens is a lot of resentment, and people get into a lot of fighting and bickering and that type of stuff. Because if the only reason someone is moving in with you or marrying you or claiming you is because you are carrying their child, then that's probably not the only solid reason. Yes, it's good. That person should take responsibility. I believe every single man should take responsibility for every child that they help to conceive and bring on planet Earth. That's a 100% thing for sure. Because it's hurting a lot of communities, especially the black community, but I'll get into that another time. But the thing about it is, yes, you got to take responsibility, but don't think that you need to marry to someone because you're having their kid, right? Or you need to move in with that person. Because there's a difference because what happens is the child becomes that vacuum, that nice, good feeling story for 9 months or a year or whatever the case is. And after the child is born, the child is growing up, and then you hear people say, well, I was only here because you got pregnant anyway. Bing. And know you're married to the person, right? Or know you've really created a life with that person. Now, I'm not saying every situation is the same, that you cannot find love with your child's father or with your child's mother, or whatever the case is, depending on whether you're a male or female looking at this video. But at the same time, you really got to think about, why are you getting into a relationship with this person? And if it's just because the person's pregnant, well, maybe you should really think about, one, being a responsible parent. But that doesn't necessarily, to be a responsible parent, you don't have to be married to the other parent, right? To be a responsible parent, You don't have to be married to the other parent. And sometimes people say you need to do the right thing. The right thing is to take care of your child. That is the right thing that you have to do. That's the right thing. It's not to get married. That is not the right thing. That is something that you do if you really realize that you can have a life with someone, that you can create some type of life with someone, that you'll get married to that person. But the right thing is to take care of your child. The wrong thing to do is to rush and marry someone just because you got pregnant. Because I've seen so many times where that just does not work out, where after a while, people start cheating or doing whatever the case is just because they felt like, well, maybe it was the right thing for me to do is to step up as a man. Well, step up as a man and take care of your child. All right, but that's a whole lot different than stepping up as a man and taking care of your child and getting married to someone that you really don't want to be with. You're just doing it because the person's carrying your child. That's a completely different situation. So think about it. I'd love to hear you all's comments. What do you think? Do you think that pregnancy means marriage? Because somebody's pregnant, people should be getting married. I want to know your thoughts. Please leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share the videos. Don't forget that you always have a choice. See you next time.